Well, hi again, everyone. This is Tim from Cleveland Baseball Fan 879, and this is game number 2 of the matchup between the 1967 Cardinals and the 1998 New York Yankees. If you don't want to know what happened in game 1, skip ahead for the next 10 seconds. The Yankees won that one 5-2. Some late inning heroics by the Yankees. Pitching in game 2 will be Dick Hughes for the Cardinals and David Cone for the Yankees. And the batting order is a little different now that we have a righty pitching. For the Cardinals, it's Lou Brock leading off and playing left field. Curt Flood batting second and playing center field. Roger Maris playing right field, batting third. The Baby Bull Orlando Cepeda batting cleanup and playing first base. Batting fifth and catching is Tim McCarver. Batting sixth and playing third base is Mike Shannon. Batting seventh, the designated hitter Ed Spezio. Batting eighth and playing second base is Julian Javier. And batting ninth and playing shortstop is Del Maxville. The defense behind David Cone, who's your starting pitcher for the Yankees, you have Joe Girardi, who was I believe David Cone's personal catcher. He's behind the plate. Tino Martinez at first, Chuck Knobloch at second, Scott Brocious at third, and the captain Derek Jeter at short. And you have Ricky Leday in left, Bernie Williams in center, and Paul O'Neill in right. And here's Lou Brock to face David Cone. 4-11 against a lefty. Fly ball to right field, backing up a few steps is O'Neill, and he puts it away, one down. And here is Curt Flood. Three and a 10. And against a righty, that's into center field, base hit for Curt Flood. Let's see, Cone is a +2. Girardi's a 0. Ooh, so he'd be even. All right, so he'll get a lead on a 5, and he gets picked off on a 12. They'll try to get a jump. He'd be a 1-13 if he... Actually, they're not holding him on, so he'd be 1-15 if he got the jump. So I'm saying they're not holding him on. He's going to try to get a jump. He'd be He needs a 5 to get the jump. No. And he gets the 12. How about that? Curt Flood gets caught leaning, and they pick him off. Wow. Okay, so 2 outs and nobody on for Roger Maris. And here's the pitch from Cone to Maris. 3-6, and he draws a walk, because of course he would. And Maris will not be going where, will not be held on. And here's Orlando Cepeda. Havoc roll for Cone. Nothing on the 11. And here's the pitch to Cepeda. 1 and a 7. Not 2 outs. Oh, swung on and missed, struck him out. And that will retire the side. And we are to the bottom of the first. Cardinals nothing, and Yankees coming to bat. So they are facing Dick Hughes, who sadly I do not know anything about Dick Hughes. Except for he was a number 2 starter on this Cardinals roster. In 1967, he was 16-6 in 27 starts. 2.68 ERA. Did have a save. In 222 innings pitched, he walked 48, struck out 161. And that brings up Mr. Chuck Knobloch. Two and an 11. Ground ball wide of first. Fielding it as the first baseman. Cepeda throws to Hughes covering. One away. course, my little homebrew rule, any ground ball C or X chance for the first baseman is throwing to the pitcher covering. Anything else I'll usually just do is a ground ball B or 3 unassisted. All right, here's Derek Jeter. Oops. And it's now an official game. And I'll take a timeout real quick. All right, so there's an official game, as I told Dwayne Martz the other day. It's not an official game until you drop the dice off the table. All right, 4 and a 6 against a righty, swung on and missed, struck him out. 2 away. And here is Paul O'Neill. Six and a 6 against the lefty. Struck him out. So 1, 2, 3 go the Yankees here in the first. And we go to the second. Yankees nothing, Cardinals nothing. McCarver, Shannon, and Spezio do up for the Cardinals here in the second. One and a 4, and that's just a bit outside ball 4. They will hold McCarver. I don't think we'll try to do anything here. Well, McCarver had 8 steals, was caught 8 times. Maybe we'll see. Not right now. They'll hold him on. Havoc roll for Cone. Nothing on the 4. 5 and a 3. That's to the left fielder. That is Leday. He's a 2. That's a 19. You will get to that. And Leday is an E7. And an 8. That should be fine. There is no 8. So Leday tracks that one down and retires Shannon 1 away. Here's Ed Spezio. Yes, he is the father of 2002 World Series hero Scott Spezio. Havoc roll for David Cone. Nothing on the 13. Two and a 9. Against a righty, swung on and missed, struck him out. And now I believe we're going to get McCarver to try to be in motion here. They are holding him on. He's a 2 through 6 or a 10. He's picked off on an 8. And of course, try to drop them all in and they get stuck. All right. And they get the 6. Okay, 6 means that he can go. 1 to 15, McCarver steals second. There's a +2, and they get a -2 for holding him on, and Girardi has no arm. So 1 to 15, and McCarver is safe. And that's an 18. Wow, so Posada throws the second. They get McCarver. Javier's a right-handed batter, so we'll say 2 to 6 on the caught stealing. And right now the Cardinals are running themselves out of innings, which they cannot do. So Javier will lead off the 3rd inning after McCarver's caught stealing, and that retires the side. Go to the bottom of the second. Yankees nothing and the Cardinals nothing. Williams, Davis, and Martinez do up for the Yankees here in the bottom of the second. And that ball is high, that ball is deep, and that ball is out of here. Ballpark blast. The one easily fits any ballpark if there's a home run chance. 1 to 7 for Yankee Stadium, which seems a little odd for, especially for left-handers. But Williams batting left-handed, deep and gone. And either hand, that would have been a ballpark blast. So the Yankees take a 1-0 lead on the Williams homer. Here's Charles Chili Davis. One and a 6. Little tapper back to the mound, and Hughes throws out Davis one away. And here's Tino Martinez. Four and an 11. Batting left-handed. That's a ballpark blast, but the 9 is too high. So Martinez flies out to right field, and this part of the lineup is not getting fooled. Maybe Davis was, but not the other two. And here's Scott Brocious. And that is a 4 and a 4. And that is a center field chance. I always take when I roll the D20 with it, that is the range chance for the fielder. Center field is Flood. He'll get there. He's on his horse. And that is a 11. Flood is an E5 in center field. Flood E5. There is no 11, so nice running catch by Flood. And that retires the side. But the home run by Bernie Williams puts the Yankees on the board and out to a 1-0 lead. Javier, Maxville, and Brock do up for the Cardinals here in the third inning. And here's Julian Javier. And that's a ground ball to short. We're not going to play injuries. One away. Here's Dal Maxville. One and a 5. That's a 1 to 7 double chance. 16 means he gets a 1-out single. And Maxville will not be held on. Here's Lou Brock. Havoc roll for Cone. Nothing on the 14. And here's Brock. 4 and an 8. Just a bit high, ball 4. And they will hold all runners because of Lou Brock. And here's Kurt Flood. Singled his last time up, was picked off. Havoc roll, nothing on the 20. And here's Flood. He will not be bunting here. They're not expecting it, so they're holding all runners. Here's a pitch to Flood. 1 and an 11. Ballpark single. The 12 is no good. So that is we'll say shallow fly ball to center field. And Bernie Williams makes the catch 2 away. And here's Roger Maris. Is neutral in the... No, he gains a hit on 2-3. Nothing on the 16. And here's Maris. 6 and a 6. And that will get the job done. Triple on a 1, that's a 10. So that will fall in. Scoring from second is Maxville. To third is Brock. And the game is tied. Stadium groans. All right, so here's Orlando Cepeda. Struck out his first time up. Nothing on the 5. Here's Cepeda. 6 and an 8. Swung on and missed, struck him out. Third strikeout for Cone. That will retire the side, but the Cardinals tie the game here in the top of the third. And it's a 1-1 game going to the bottom of the third. We got Girardi, Lede, and Knobloch due up for the Yankees here in the bottom of the third. And here is Joe Girardi. And that's a 6-7. Against the righty, and Girardi swung on and missed, struck him out. Strikeout number 3 for Dick Hughes, and here is Ricky Lede. Oops, and we will re-roll. 4 and a 10. Ooh, just got under it, popped it up. Second baseman Javier calls for it. 2 down. And back to the top of the order, Chuck Knobloch rounded out the first, his first time up. Six and a 9. Double to 7 that just gets over the outstretched glove of Curt Flood. Bounces up against the wall, and Knobloch is into second with a double. And they will hold him on for Derek Sanderson Jeter. And that's a 13-0 on the Havoc roll. Here's Jeter. 4 and a 3. A little chopper to first. Easy play for Cepeda. Steps on the bag, and that retires the side. We are to the top of the fourth. Yankees 1, Cardinals 1. And here's McCarver, Shannon, and Spezio to face David Cone. First came to the Yankees from the Toronto Blue Jays. 3 and a 9. A little bouncer to first, and Martinez takes it himself, 1 away. Here's Mike Shannon. Shannon flew out his first time up. 6 and a 7. Swung on and missed, struck him out. Fourth strikeout for David Cone. 2 away here in the top of the fourth for Ed Spezio. Oops, and that one die did not go through. We will re-roll. There's 5 column, 5 and a 4 center field chance for Bernie Williams. Doesn't really need it. He's a 1 outfielder, so got an E4. Ooh. So now a 9. So E4, there should not be a 9. There is not, just 4, 16, and 18. And Williams retires. Spezio, and that's all for the Cardinals here in the top of the fourth. Going to the bottom half, still tied at 1. O'Neill, Williams, and Davis for the Yankees due up here in the bottom of the fourth. Okay. All right, here is Paul O'Neill. 5 and a 5. Against the lefty, struck him out. Strikeout number 4 for Dick Hughes. There's Bernie Williams, whose solo home run is the got the Yankees the lead in the second inning. 5 and a 6. Switch hitter batting left-handed. Fly ball to center field, but Kurt Flood's under it. 2 away, and here's Charles Chili Davis. Wow, 3 rolls in the 5 column. 5, 8. Switch hitter batting left-handed. Another grounder to first, and this time Cepeda takes it himself. 1, 2, 3 inning for the Yankees here in the bottom of the 4th. We go to the 5th, tied at 1. Okay, and Javier, Maxwell, and Brock due up for the Cardinals here in the 5th inning, as they have now gone up through the order twice already. So they have made Cone work in a couple innings. 4 and a 5. And swung on and missed, struck him out. 5th strikeout for Cone. And here is Del Maxville. 1 and a 4. Fly ball to right field. And O'Neill puts it away. 2 down. Here's Lou Brock, 0 for 1 with a walk. One and a 5. Struck him out. Number 6 for Cone. 1, 2, 3 go to the Cardinals here in the 5th. We go to the bottom half. Still tied at 1. And Martinez, Brocious, and Girardi due up for the Yankees here in the bottom of the 5th. And Martinez is 0 for 1. They flew out to right field his first time up. And that ball is high. That ball is deep. And that ball is out of here. 1 to 16 home run chance. That's a 15. And kiss it goodbye. 2-1 Yankees take the lead. Here's Scott Brocious. Oops, and we'll re-roll. And a 1 and a 3. Single to 9. That is a 4. And maybe getting some of our bullpen loosening. Al Jackson and Larry Jaster are loosening the bullpen. They really do not want to go down 2-0. Here's Girardi. You know, with nobody out, we'll play this way. I'll do the Spokane Steve or way. 1 to 3, they're expecting it. 4 to 6, they are not. And they are not expecting it. So Girardi will be an A bunter. First off, we'll do the Havoc roll. Nothing on the 8. All right. And let me get my bunt chart here. He's an A bunter. That will go back to the pitcher on a 5. Oh boy, Girardi. Tough play. 1 to 12. He beats it out. And oh, by a step. We'll say 1-4 on the sacrifice. Girardi moves Brocious down to second, and by a whisker, he is out. So they really caught the Cardinals by surprise, but just a step slow for Girardi. All right, 1 away. Runner in scoring position for Ricky Leday. Nothing on the 3. Here's the pitch to Leday. And that's a 3-9. Struck him out. Number 5 for Hughes. And back to the top of the order. Chuck Knobloch doubled his last time up. Nothing on the 16. And here's the pitch to Knobloch. 3 and a 9. Line drive, but right to Cepeda. And that retires the side. But the Yankees take the lead on the Martinez homer. As it's been the case of the long ball for the Yankees. Going in the 6th. Yankees 2, Cardinals 1. And here's Curt Flood to lead off the top of the 6th. 1 for 2 with a single. And that's a 1-4 double chance. That's a 3. So into second with a double, leadoff double is Curt Flood. He will not be held on. Here's Roger Maris. Can the Cardinals answer right back after the Yankees score as they did in the 3rd inning? Nothing on the havoc roll. Here's Roger Maris, single and a walk in 2 appearances. 6 and a 6. And they will, and Maris once again gets the 6-6 roll. Doesn't get the 1, but gets the rest of them. That will score Flood. And once again, it is actually Roger Maris 2, the Yankees 2. So he has both RBIs. Now here's Orlando Cepeda. The Yankees are going to get bullpen action. Let's see. We'll have Jeff Nelson and Mike Stanton due up here or getting loosening in the bullpen. All right. Here is Cepeda. Havoc roll for there. 1 to 6. It's a wild pitch. Not on the 18. Good stop by Girardi. Excuse me. Here's Cepeda. And we'll do that again. And a 4 and an 8. Righty. Just a bit outside ball 4. And let's see, we have lefty, righty, righty, lefty and 4 righties. You know what? I think the Yankees are going to make the move. So in comes Mike Stanton. Lefties do hurt him a little bit. As Cone faces 22 batters and is responsible for the 2 runners on. McCarver has walked and grounded out in 2 at-bats. Havoc roll for Stanton. Oh, he'd only needed on a 2. All right, here's McCarver. 6 and a 5. Single to 5. That's a line drive to the first baseman Martinez. 1 away. Here's Mike Shannon. Nothing on the havoc roll. Shannon. That is a 5 and a 7. against a righty, struck him out. Not tired. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Ed Spezio. Havoc roll. Nothing on the 12. And here's the pitch to Spezio. 5 and a 6. Ground ball to third, and Brocious comes up with it and retires the side. So Torrey looks like a good move, bringing in Stanton to stem the tide and keep it a 2-2 game going to the bottom of the 6th. All right, due up for the Yankees, Jeter, O'Neill, and Williams. Now, Hughes does have a point of weakness of 8, but this is the playoffs and anything can happen. Or this is a sort of playoff type series and anything can happen. All right, so here's Jeter, 0 for 2, strikeout and a ground out. 2 and a 4. And that ball is drilled to center field, and that will one-hop the wall. And into second with a leadoff double is Jeter. And Jackson and Jaster are loosening. Actually, we'll get somebody else because I don't want. Ray Washburn is also loosening in the bullpen. So you get lefty-righty action. All right, here's Paul O'Neill. And a 1, so 1 to 7, he throws it in the dirt. And like I just did. Not on the 14. All right, here's Paul O'Neill. Twice a strikeout victim. 6 and an 8. Single to 4, that's a 2. And hitting third and stopping there is Jeter. Runners on the corners. Oh boy. I don't think you get a good one either way here if you put in the lefty or the righty. So they will stick with Hughes. I guess I'll play if I can kind of go. I don't know where I want to do this. Infield will be in for the Cardinals. For Williams. Nothing on the 8. And here's the pitch to Bernie Williams. 3 and a 6, and he walked him. And I think turnabout's fair play here. You got the switch hitting Davis, then the lefty Martinez. So I think we'll go with the righty Ray Washburn. Now, usually they say if you bring in a guy that's not rated for a relief role, he gets a point of weakness of 1. That's a little preposterous. I'll at least let him get a point of weakness of 2. So, Ray Washburn to come on. Try to stem the tide. Infield is still in with nobody out. Double, single, and a walk have loaded the bases for Chili Davis. Nothing on the 18. And here's Davis. 2 and a 5. Just a bit outside, and that draws in a run. Everybody moves up 90 feet. Bases remain loaded, and the infield remains in for Tino Martinez, whose 5th inning homer briefly put the Yankees ahead 2-1. Havoc roll for Washburn. On a 1, if another one comes up, a wild pitch occurs. Not on a 5. All right, here's Tino Martinez. 2 and a 10. All right, I will go to my infield in chart for super advanced for bases loaded. And that is a ground ball A. 2 and a 10. Infield in, bases loaded, ground ball A. Wow. Hot smash to third. They throw home to get O'Neill. The return throw to first is in time. Your not so regular 5-2-3 double play. Yep. Like on the super advanced chart says, loaded number 9. Number 9 says batter out, runner on third out. Double play. And that is big. So out there. So runners move up to second and third. And here is Scott Brocious. Two away here in the... And infield is back to normal, of course. All right, here's Brocious. Nothing on the 16. Oops, and did not go through. One and a 3. Single to 9. That's a 6. And Brocious gets the run home anyways. Moving to third is Davis. Scott Brocious, RBI single, puts the Yankees up 4-2. And they are not holding on Brocious. Even with that asterisk, you could get a lead. But I'm not going to steal here. Here's Girardi. And, actually, they will pinch hit for him. Now that David Cone is gone. Jorge Posada will hit for Girardi here in this. Actually, well, we'll leave Girardi in. Let him play the entire game. All right. So I'll say I'll do the Havoc roll again. Nothing on the 16. Okay. Here's Girardi. Struck out in a sacrifice bunt in 2 appearances. And there's a 5 and a 4. So this is going to be an X chance somewhere. Probably to center field. Yep. Flood's a 1. So he'll get to it. Five, and there should not be a 9. There is not, and that retires the side. The Yankees get 2, but it could have been a lot worse. And they lead 4-2 going to the 7th inning. They will let Stanton start the inning, or will they? Righty, righty, lefty. And probably let him pitch the first 2 batters. Jeff Nelson is still loosening in the bullpen. All right. And here we are, top of the 7th. Javier, Maxville, and Brock. 6 and a 6. Struck him out. And here is Maxville. Six and a 7. 1-7 single chance. That is a 9. So line drive to third. The Brocious gets them. And they're going to take the call of the bullpen and go to Jeff Nelson. Brock is 0 for 2 with a walk today. Nothing on the 3. Two and a 12. And not a clutch situation, so it's a ground ball to Knobloch. Throws out Brock. Stretch time here at Yankee Stadium. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back for its root. Root for your favorite team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. There's Ricky Leday, 0 for 2 on the day. Washburn's in his second inning of work. One and a 5. And Leday finds the gap, and it's going to bounce away from the outfielder. And into third with a leadoff triple is Ricky Leday. And you get Al Jackson and Jack LeMabe loosening in the bullpen. So Leday with a leadoff triple. Of course, the infield will be brought in. Here's Knobloch. 1, and another 1 is a wild pitch. Not on the 15. Okay. So here's Knobloch. Oops. 6 and a 5. Grounder to short. Maxville a 2 and a 9 stays out of the pound territory. Maxville is an E21. And a 6. Oh boy. E21. And there it is. Let's see how well I can get that. E21. The first number there is a 6. So let's see. G2, E1. And it's an error. Bobbles and hurries and throws in the dirt, and it bounces, and Cepeda keeps it in front of him, but no dice, and scoring from third is Leday on the error. 5-2, Yankees lead. And it's not necessarily his fault, but okay. Let's see here. Knobloch's actually going to try to get a lead. Actually, no, he won't. Well, -3, -4, -6. Nah, he'll be held on, but he won't try to get a lead. All right, here's Jeter. Havoc roll for Washburn. Nothing on the 13. And here's Jeter. 4 and a 6. Single to 16. And guess what? That's a 16. Just getting by. Stopping at second is Knobloch. And Mabe is kind of a dumpster fire, but actually he's okay against righties. It's actually not terrible use. And that's what they're going to go to. They're going to go to Jack LeMabe. LeMabe was actually, I believe he split time with the Mets and the Cardinals, was 3-7, a 3.90 ERA in 3 starts, had 5 saves, 79 innings, walked 18, struck out 53. So here is Jack LeMabe to try to keep this a 3-run game. First and second for the Yankees. They will hold both runners. Havoc roll for LeMabe. Nothing on the 5. Here's Paul O'Neill. One and an 11. Ballpark single chance, 1 to 9. That's a 12. And we'll say that's a fly ball to center field. 1 away. Here's Bernie Williams. Homered, walked, and flew out. Nothing on the 3 for LeMahieu. Two and an 8. Ground ball back to LeMahieu. Throws to, let's see, Williams batting left-handed. Throws to the shortstop. Maxville on to Cepeda. Inning-ending double play. And so the Yankees get a run on the air. I'm inning behind. But the Yankees still lead 5-2 going to the 8th. Nelson will come out and pitch the 8th, and if it stays a 3-run game, they will go to you-know-who. All right. He might pitch the whole inning. Nelson got the final out in the 6th. He'll face Flood, Maris, and Cepeda here in the top of the 8th. And pitch to Kurt Flood. 1 and a 5. And that's down the third base line in the corner. Left fielder Lede picks it up and floods in with his second double of the day. He will not be held on. Let's see here. Yeah, Ramiro Mendoza and Graham Lloyd are loosening the bullpen. We will treat Game 3 as after a travel day, so everybody will be fresh. So pretty much you can empty the bullpens after this. All right, Havoc roll for Nelson. Nothing on the 16. Maris is 2 for 2, 2 singles and a walk. Has both RBIs for the Cardinals. 5 and a 5. Struck him out. Here's Orlando Cepeda. Nothing on the 13. 4 and a 6. And he walks him. And we will go get Ramiro Mendoza. Okay, so Mendoza with first and second, 1 out. Yes, after the Maris strikeout. So there's Mendoza facing Tim McCarver, 0 for 2 with a walk. Havoc roll for Mendoza. Nothing on the 17. They are holding both runners on. Two and a 4. And against a righty, that's a fly ball to right. And making the catch is O'Neill, and everybody heads back. On a fly ball right field B without the question mark, I could attempt to take third, but not on a B question mark. 2 down. Here is Mike Shannon. Nothing on the Havoc roll. And here's a pitch to Shannon. He is 0 for 3. 1 and a 3. Ground ball to second, and Knobloch retires Shannon, and that will retire the side. And LeMay will come out for the 8th. As we head to the bottom of the 8th, the Yankees leading 5-2. And Mariano Rivera is loosening in the bullpen. And so is Darren Holmes. All right, and here's Chelly Davis to face LeMay. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. Three and a 7. That's a bouncer to short. 1 away. Here's Tino Martinez. Tino is 1 for 3 with a homer. 6 and a 7. That's a base hit. And Martinez will not be held on. Here's Scott Brocious. Nothing on the 13. Here's Brocious. Two and an 8. And there's a base hit to center field. Not holding on Martinez makes him a 12. The center field flood is a 0. Yeah, at the bottom of the lineup, they'll take a chance to go to third. They kind of feel like they have to. They'll eschew. Let's see if Brocious goes to second. 1-12, and Martinez is safe. And that's at 18, and he is meat. So we'll say 8-5. He is out. Brocious will go to second on the throw. But there are 2 outs for Joe Girardi. Havoc roll, nothing on the 12. And here's Girardi. 4 and an 11. Ballpark single, 1-9. That's a 12. And so we'll go with the line out to short here because I haven't had one of those all game. And that retires the side. So LeMay pitches 2 scoreless innings. But on comes Mariano Rivera to pitch the 9th. And you know that the Cardinals will be using their bench. And batting for Spezio is Alex Johnson. All right, so Johnson will bat for Spezio. I know Alex Johnson was not used in that, but hey, this is my own little... He's not used in the 67 World Series, but this is my replay. I do what I want. All right. Oops, not Mendoza. Rivera. Fourth Yankee reliever. Spezio was 0 for 3 on the day. And here's a pitch to 5 and an 8. Ground ball to second, and Knobloch will knock it down, but let's see here, 2-1. And Knobloch is an E15. That's an 11. There is no 11, so he knocks it down and can't get back to his feet to get Johnson. And the Cardinals have the leadoff batter. And here we'll let Julian Javier bat, but they'll pinch hit for Maxville. Havoc roll for Rivera. They're going to hold on Alex Johnson. Nothing on the 17. Actually, they will not hold Alex. They'll hold him on. 6 and a 4. Swung on and missed. Struck him out. And they will get a pinch hitter for Maxville. Bobby Tolan will pinch hit for Maxville. And Phil Galliano will, if necessary, will play shortstop for the Cardinals. All right, so here's Tolan, one away. Havoc roll for Rivera. Nothing on the 4. Oops. Jeez. Please. Okay, reroll. 3 and a 9. Ground ball back to the mound. Rivera throws the second to the shortstop Jeter. Return throw, not in time. So, Tolan. See, Rivera's a -3. Jeter, no, they won't. They'll hold him on, but he will not go anywhere. And it's up to Lou Brock. 2 outs, runner on first. Yankees lead 5-2. Nothing on the 9. 6-7. Against the lefty. Weak ground ball to second. Knobloch throws to first, and that's your game. Final score from Yankee Stadium, 5-2. Be right back with the details. All right, final line score, 5 runs, 11 hits, no errors for the Yankees. 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Cardinals. And unfortunately, a lot of those hits were in the top 3 of the order as from Cepeda on down, they only got 2 hits. All right, so the winning pitcher is actually Mike Stanton, as he was in the game when, they had tied the Cardinals had tied the game in the 6th inning when Cone came out, but took the lead again in the bottom of the 6th. So he's the pitcher of record. Rivera gets the save, and Hughes gets the loss. All right, everybody, thank you for watching. Please leave a like if you can. Helps the video to be seen. If you'd like to leave a comment, please do so. And if you've not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. You'll be notified of any new videos. And whatever games you are playing, please enjoy them to your fullest. Have a good day, everybody.